Welcome to Animal Crochet Academy. This is Daria, and we will be learning how to crochet an acorn today. This video is designed especially for beginners with a bit of crochet experience. If you're interested in learning how to crochet simple amigurumi projects, consider subscribing. And all the links to the materials and tools will be in the description box below. Alright, here you can see all the materials and tools that you will need for today's tutorial. So first of all, we will need a little bit of yarn in two colors. One is darker brown and another is beige. For this little acorn ornament, you need very few amount of yarn, so you can use your leftover. I decided to work with 4mm hook because this number is really good for my yarn weight. I'll also need scissors and a tapestry needle. This is a needle with a big hole, so you can sew the pieces together with this needle and yarn easily. Alright, let's start crocheting. And the first thing that we need to make is a bottom piece. You need to make two exactly the same pieces. And we need to start by making 4 chains. So make a slip knot, insert your hook into the loop, and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the row 1, you need to skip last stitch. So you skip the last stitch and you will insert your hook into the second one. And you need to make 2 single crochet. 1 single crochet, and into the next stitch another one. In the last chain, we need to make 3 single crochet. All of them will go into the same hole. So this is my first, this is second, and third. So all 3 into the same hole. Now you will work along this side. You need to make 2 single crochet. I am inserting my hook into the next stitch, and make sure that this short end you put along the side so it will weave in naturally. And I am making my first single crochet, and into the next stitch, second one. After this row, you're supposed to have 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, I have 7. Next row, row 2, you start with chain 1. Then you turn in your work the same way like you turn in a page in a book. In this case, the turning chain is not twisted. Now you need to skip this turning chain, and we start by making 2 single crochet. So one is going into the next stitch under both loops, and another one is into the next stitch, into the following stitch. So 2 single crochet. Then we need to make 3 increases. Increase is 2 stitches into the same hole. So into the next one, I'm making my first increase. 1 single crochet and another one into the same hole. So that was my first increase. I need to make 2 more. 1 and another one into the same hole. And the last increase into the next stitch. So 2 single crochet into the same stitch. And I finish this row with 2 single crochet, each one of them going into their own spot. 1 and 2. After this row, you're supposed to have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Row 3, you start with chain 1, turn your work the same way like we turn in a page in a book, and you need to do 2 single crochet. 1 and 2. Then you need to make 1 increase. So 2 single crochet into the same hole, 2 single crochet, Then you need to make chain 2. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And then you need to make 1 single crochet into the same stitch. So I'm going into the same stitch and doing single crochet over there. So that will create little edge. Then 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 increase, 2 stitches into the same hole, and we finish the row with 3 single crochet, each of them going into their own spot. That's what you're supposed to have at the end. So now we need to take our scissors and we will cut a long end for sewing the piece later. Now we need to fasten off, so make this loop a little bit bigger and pull this yarn end through the loop and tighten that like this. Since we were weaving this end while we were working, so now we can cut it. We don't need that anymore. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to have. Please make another piece exactly the same way like this one. Now we will make top piece. You also need to make 2 exactly same pieces. And this time we will work with darker brown color. So first thing that you need to make is a slip knot, and then chain 2. 1 and 2. You will skip the last chain and starting from the next one, basically from the first one, you need to make 3 single crochet and all of them will go into the same hole. 1, 2, and 3 going into the same hole. Then you need to chain 1, turn your work the same way like you were turning in a book. And for the row 2, you need to make 3 increases. So we will skip the turning chain and starting from the next stitch, I'm making my first increase. We already know that increase is 2 single crochet into the same hole. So that was my first increase. This is my second increase and third increase into the last stitch. After this row, you're supposed to have 6 stitches. I have 6 single crochet. In the row 3, you chain 1, turn your work, skip the turning chain and starting from the next one. You're making 1 increase and then 1 single crochet into the next stitch. After that, you need to repeat this part, 1 increase, 1 single crochet to the end of this row. So basically you repeat it 2 more times. So 1 increase, 1 single crochet, 1 increase, and 1 single crochet. Please count your stitches. At the end of this row, you're supposed to have 9 single crochet. Row 4, you start with chain 1, turn your work, and then you need to make 1 increase, and then 2 single crochet, each of them going into their own spot. 1 and 2. And you need to repeat this to the end of the row. So 1 increase, 2 single crochet. Repeat it 2 more times. At the end of this row, you're supposed to have 12 stitches. Row 5, you start with chain 1, then turn your work, skip this turning chain and insert your hook into the next stitch and make 1 single crochet. In the next stitch you need to make increase. So 2 single crochet into the same hole. Then you're making 3 single crochet, each of them going into their own stitch. 1, 2, and 3. In the next stitch you need to make 1 single crochet, then chain 4, and then another single crochet into the same stitch where you did your the previous single crochet. Then 3 single crochet, each of them going into their own space. 1, 2, and 3. Then 1 increase. And you finish your row with 2 single crochet. That's what you're supposed to have at the end. So then you need to cut the yarn, leaving a long tail for sewing the piece later, and fasten off. And please make another piece exactly the same way. So you need 2 of the same pieces. Alright, you need to prepare these 4 details, and now I'm going to show you how to assemble all together. So let's start with the bottom pieces, with the lighter pieces. You see I have 2 long yarn ends. It doesn't matter which one I'll take. And I need to thread the yarn through the tapestry needle. Then I'm placing these 2 together like this. It's good when one yarn end is going from one side and another is from the other side. And now I'm ready for sewing. So because my working yarn is going from the back layer, I'm inserting it into the front layer and taking it away through the back layer, because I need to join them like this. After that, you see here on the side, on the edge, we have loops, and I'm going to pick only front loop of the back layer and back loop of the front layer, just these 2. And I'm inserting my needle towards myself and making first stitch. And the other stitch will go to the opposite direction, and I also pick just these 2 yarn loops like that, and I sew like this all around. Okay, so I finished sewing. This is how it should look like at the bottom. I like the result. So right now we can, to be honest, I can cut it shorter. I don't need that long tail. And I can hide it inside of my acorn like this. And maybe I'll do one more stitch to close a little bit more. All right, so then we can hide our yarn end inside, but before doing that, let's make security knot. So find any loop that is close to your yarn, let's say this one, Insert your needle under, pull through, but not to the end. Leave a loop and then insert your needle into that loop and then tighten that. And you can cut this yarn end a little bit shorter, like this, and hide it inside. This is what you're supposed to have right now. Now let's sew these two pieces together. So find the longest end and use it for sewing. So the idea is exactly the same. So first I need to join two ends, two layers, and then I will use just back loop of the front layer and front loop of the back layer, and repeating the same stitch over again to sew these two pieces together. Alright, so that's what you're supposed to have. Now take the bottom part and we can, okay, I'll leave this long end, but these short ends I'll just hide inside. And then I need to put this bottom part inside like this. So it's going right inside like that. And then I need to make a seam going through all layers. So first of all, let's go here. I'll join it a little bit there, like this. The stitch is exactly the same like it was before. Okay, how do I hold it? Like this. Okay. Found the comfortable position, and I'm going through two layers right now because it's too early for the bottom part, and I'm pulling it through. Okay, but after that next stitch I will go through all layers like this and pull through. Then I'm going back through all layers again, and that's it. So keep sewing like this to the end. Okay, right now we need to make a security knot. So find any loop that is close to the yarn, let's say this one, insert your knit under that loop, pull it through but not to the end, leave a bigger loop, and then insert your needle into that loop, and then you can tighten it. Then you can insert your needle somewhere very close to that yarn end and take your needle away, doesn't matter where, somewhere far from that spot. And you can cut the excess yarn. And this yarn end we will use for making a loop to hang the acorn. So I need to insert my needle in any hole that is close to the yarn end and take it away here, right into the middle. Like that. Okay, so create a loop. Let's say this is a good size. Yeah. Find any loop, maybe this one. Yeah, I'll go just under one loop. Pull through, but not to the end again. Oh no, this time you pull through the end. Yeah, now we will need to make another stitch the same way like we were doing before, under the same loop, but this time you're not pulling to the end, you're leaving a little loop. Like this. And then you insert your needle into that small loop and tighten that. That will create a knot, and this big loop is not going to change in size. And then find any hole next to the yarn end and take away your needle somewhere far from that spot. Pull it through and cut the excess yarn. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave us a comment. Like and share this video if it was useful for you. Subscribe to Animal Crochet YouTube channel and stay positive.